Hey friends, thanks for tuning in to my Jeep. Today we are going to learn a little bit about replacing Jeep LJ or TJ upper control arms. As you can see, my existing upper control arm has seen better days. I was up under there looking at something else and realized, wow, that needs to be replaced. Luckily, my buddy Jason over at Rock Your 4x4 here in Knoxville, Tennessee, had some metal cloak adjustable upper control arms in stock, so I went ahead and picked those up, and we're going to get them installed today. Pretty easy job, basic hand tools, 15mm socket. I needed an extension to get to them, hammer and a larger flathead screwdriver to help you get the old bolts out a little bit if needed, and of course soaking them with PB Blaster a couple times before always makes things easier. So let's crawl under the Jeep and I'll show you how I uninstalled this arm. Okay, we are under the Jeep and here's the passenger. We're on the passenger side. Here's the front axle. You'll see this mount with a bushing in it. See if I can get that focused better. This is the front end of the upper control arm, and it runs to a bracket which you can't see very well. Right here, which is kind of behind the exhaust pipe. So 15mm coming from the top to get that bolt, and 15mm, goodness, 15mm bolt right here on the outside. Take those guys out. I had to tap the control arm a few times with a hammer and it popped right off. No big deal. Same thing over here on the driver's side. So 15mm bolt right here to take off, and right on top of the pumpkin will be the fun one to get to. Right here, 15mm bolt and nut. So take those off, and I'm just doing one at a time, and so we'll climb back out and show you the rest. Okay, so if your control arms are not beat up, you can measure from eye hole to eye hole and then adjust your new control arms if needed to match that measurement. Fortunately, mine are not going to be a very accurate measurement, so I looked it up, and most websites said either 15 or 15 1/8 inch. So I set these to 15. Notice I had to back them down as far as they would go. So that's my plan, is just to have them as short as I can, which is 15 inches. We'll set it in there, put the new bolts in. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some anti-seize on the bolt as it goes through this collar here, and also on the nut itself, make it a little easier to take off next time. That's about it. So we'll crawl under there and slip this first one on, then take the second one off, adjust it, and put the second one on. So might not video a lot of it. It's about to rain, and I want to get this done before the rain comes. And my wife's pulling in the driveway, so I'm probably in trouble for messing on the Jeep. Thanks. Focus. There we go. Okay. Control arm number 1 is in place but not tightened down. So you can see the bolt going through. And then on this side, on the side closer to the firewall, I reused the flag nut. Basically, it's a nut and it's got this big tab, so you can actually get it up in there. If you didn't do that, if you use the ones that came with the metal cloak, you have a hole and you can put the nut through the hole and then try to screw it onto the end of the bolt. I did have to fiddle a little bit to get this bolt to go through the metal cloak. I guess the adjustment was off, but I just kind of wiggled and pushed, and eventually it popped through. So feels like I'm pretty good. Definitely seems like there's a lot more beef in here now. So anyway, let me tighten this thing down and pull the other one off. All right, here's the two old ones. Easy enough to bolt the other two new ones on. One thing I didn't realize earlier is you need a 17mm if you're going to use the bolts that came with the metal cloak control arms. So 17 millimeter to put them on, 15 millimeter to take the old ones off. But yeah, came off pretty easy. New ones bolted on, maybe hour and a half tops in the project. And you know, the usual, spent half that time looking for the right sockets. So thanks for tuning in to my G Peep. I don't know if you can see those in there or not. Sun's in about the worst place. Yeah, right here. Control arms are on. I'm going to take it for a drive, see if that had any effect on my terrible death wobble problem. In theory, you should go get an alignment done afterwards, but I don't know. I might not worry about it. We'll see. Thanks, guys, and check out my other videos.